What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about what's cracking in the crypto news space. There's been some interesting stuff coming out about people, the proportions of people that own crypto, proportion of people that have heard about it, and some interesting stuff about, institutions flooding and bullish momentum with XRP. So I'll get into it all in a second. As always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crash it in this bull cycle. Had you invested $100 into each one when I released the videos and you were still holding those bags, you'll be in profit for $80,600. Add in the 2,600 you invested, you'd be sitting on a tidy sort of 83,200. I've held them all and I've closed positions on them all, and I've got new cryptos, and if you want to see what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share my portfolio. My portfolio is up massively compared to the market. My biggest holdings are primed for some crazy gains. One of my recent investments is up 3x on when I got into it in the last few weeks. And I keep reiterating and banging on about this, and I'll continue to do so. Look, bull cycle's great. We're going to make money. If you're banking profits, you're going to make money. But please bank profits, for Christ's sake. Don't try and get out the top of the market. 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million do that. But the bear cycle is where the money's made. And wholeheartedly, like the amount of people that forget about crypto for a couple of years while the market's dead, staggering. The best time to invest is while the market's on its arse, because coins will retrace 80-90% of value. I found Phantom in the bear cycle. That's up 506 times in value. So a $2,000 investment made you a millionaire. So all I do during the bear cycle is dive into the coins, find those coins hugely undervalued compared to the proposition that they offer. And that's what I'll be sharing with everyone in Copy My Crypto. So if you want to be a part of that, check it out, because the bear cycle is coming. Whether it's 4 months away or not, it will come. Right. Let's check out what's going on. So let's start with the bearish news, because we, get rid of it. So the Bank of England rate setter warns of imminent danger of crypto assets. So a member of Bank of England's rate setting committee has warned the possibility of crypto assets derailing the financial system is ramping up. The point at which crypto assets pose a risk is getting closer. I think regulators and legislators need to think about that. John Cunliffe, who is the Deputy Governor of Financial Stability at the Old Lady, told BBC Radio 4. On the regulation of the management of crypto assets, we need to start working to ensure the regulation is there. Don't disagree with that necessarily, although I'm not a huge fan of regulation, but regulation brings in more investors, fundamentally. There's a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines that have huge bags of money that are not getting in because either it's not regulated, mostly because it's not regulated. He made the remarks based on the fact that a growing concern of younger investors are getting into crypto with vast sums of money on highly volatile crypto assets. Now, my counterpoint would be also, if they're investing sensibly, then they're doing better than if they were in the FTSE 100 or if they were in the NASDAQ. And maybe that's the problem. We don't necessarily want people getting out of their, status in England. We have a very, very, very clear status structure within England: middle class, upper class, working class, so it might be a bit upsetting if people start jumping out of their class system. But there are inevitably going to be these concerns, because, to be fair, part and parcel of new technology, growing technology, is you get scams that come in. I mean, Jesus Christ, we've seen enough of them in the crypto space. And we've seen people go into coins based on literally FOMO, Squid Game being a great example recently, and it going tits up because it was a scam. But to be fair, part and parcel of that is you've got to do your research. You can't. But I don't believe people have put their life you can't present a narrative like people have lost their life savings based on that one investment or based on one investment. And if they have, you do have to question that person as an individual. I'm not saying that it's right that anyone gets scammed, but you've got to, come on. It's your financial future, so you invest, and you don't invest in one asset class anyway. So but it's part and parcel of what happens. You know, we get our FUD stories darting around, so I thought I'd address it. But fundamentally, you know, Bank of England are, and England in general, we're very, very slow for the uptake on any sort of modern perspective on anything. But the Bank of England are going to get a CBDC down the line. That's inevitable. They'll build it on something that's already there. They're not going to build a new blockchain. So they're going to enter the space, but they're right now hesitant. Although that's only true to some degree. We know for a fact that they've been buying up levels of Bitcoin. So it's one of those where pinch of salt, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. So off the back of that, we'll talk about the stats. So I mean, this is US based, but this is stats based on who's owning. So crypto is overwhelmingly young and male, but is no longer overwhelmingly white. It is, however, mainstream. 86% of American adults say they've heard at least a little about crypto. I would think so. 5% of the world own it. Now, Pew Research Center surveyed 10,000 Americans. By the way, you know when you're doing statistics, right? 10,000 is not a good sample when it's meant to be representative of a country that is over 100 million. Just making that point. But anyway, what they said is white adults were substantially less likely than Asian, Black, or Hispanic panelists to have invested in, traded, or used crypto, with just 13% of whites, I guess, buying or using crypto. Asian Americans were the top demographic with 23%, Hispanics at 21%, and Black at 18%. That contrasts starkly with a year-old survey of 3,000 investors and crypto-curious consumers by Gemini, which are led by the Winklevoss twins. And in its 2021 crypto report, conducted in October, November of 2020, Gemini found that 71% of then current crypto owners were white, 10% Asian, 13% Hispanic, and 9% Black. Overall, however, the survey does show that crypto has properly penetrated the mainstream. That's not a surprise. Again, you see stories about Bitcoin, NFTs, you know, the cyberpunk sales, the auction house sale, you know, even SafeMoon, you know, that cracked huge mainstream media at the time. So these stories were going to penetrate into the wider populace. That was inevitable. But yeah, 86% of adults in America said they knew something about crypto. 24% said they know a lot. 16% said they'd invested in, traded, or used a crypto. Gemini found that 14% of its 2020 responders owned crypto, which pretty much matches the Pew's 2021 results. They also found that interest in crypto seems to have spread equally across all income levels, whether it's middle, upper, or lower. With 17% of middle and upper class, or upper income. I don't really like the word class, but it's what we use in England. Middle income and upper income, 17% investing in it. Lower income, 15%. These findings emerge as government leaders and others debate about the regulation regarding cryptocurrency. Financial regulators are worried about policing cryptos and have raised concerns about the long-term viability of such currencies as Bitcoin. Then, you know, again, I actually touched upon this in a video yesterday. PayPal, when it launched, no financial regulator, no financial institution wanted PayPal. They felt that it was effectively, you know, stealing their territory, and it was. And they had huge problems with regulation, huge problems with actually managing to push forward and be accepted by businesses. But PayPal led to Apple Store. Apple Store led to a huge partnership with JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley. I can't remember which one. Morgan's in both names. You watch it with Goldman Sachs. But they had that led to a huge partnership between Apple and said bank, which ended up widening the way in which we all pay for things now. Crypto's at the same point. You know, it's still in its infancy. Literally Bitcoin was created barely more than a decade ago. So it's in that infancy. But the fact that you're seeing banks across America, banks across the world offering crypto custody services and realizing that it's going to disrupt industries shows that the potential is there for longevity. You know, Bitcoin has its longevity because of its store of value. Its store of value has been decided by people based on its stock to flow model. But now it's widely accepted as a store of value rather than a payment structure. It is a store of value. It's how things evolve. Ethereum, to a large degree, is now becoming a store of value. You know, fundamentally, there are better blockchains around in terms of speed, cost, efficiency. So there's no reason Ethereum is the price it is, other than the fact that it was first mover and it's now being considered a store of value. Yes, its ecosystem is the biggest. No one's going to argue that. But why is it the biggest? Because it was the first mover. Not because it's the best. It's quite clearly not. Now, proof of stake, you know, Ethereum 2.0, that might change things. Can't see the fees changing. Can't see its speed dramatically improving. Not to match Solana, Avalanche, Phantom, Elrond. So the perspective has changed. And there is more of a perspective of store of value. It's still used, of course it's used. It's widely used. It's the most widely used. But there's a lot of people that bought Ethereum and they're not using it. They're just sitting on it because that perspective has changed. That's what happens, and that's what will happen with your financial titans, whether it's the Bank of England, you know, the Fed, whatever it is. It's an evolution, and we're just at the beginning of it. I mean, and it's really fascinating to watch it play out. The last thing was gender demographics, and men are substantially more likely to have invested, traded, or played around with crypto. Overall, 22% of men were crypto users compared with 10% of women, and younger adults by far outweighed older adults. 31% of 18 to 29-year-olds played around with crypto, 21% of 30 to 49, 8% of 50 to 65, and 3% of over 65s. Shout out to the 3% over 65s. That is staying current. I like that. And yeah, last bit then. So XRP is looking at a breakout. So we'll talk about this because so there is Credible, who is an anonymous, effectively analyst, has told his followers that XRP currently taking it one level at a time should see clear skies to new all-time highs once it breaches in a high time frame resistance. So the high time frame resistance that it's referring to is the weekly, based upon I think it's the weekly. Based upon this price resistance here. But if it breaks through, we should see new all-time highs. So yeah. So he's saying that the $1.50 to $1.70 level was the point of breakdown in May, which ignited a multi-month bear trend. So he's effectively noted that breaking through that is a very, very good sign. Now, and that's also been reiterated on FX Street, to be fair. So they were looking at the weekly charts, and what they've noticed is effectively a cup and handle formation. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that, a cup and handle formation is a very bullish formation as long as it doesn't retrace too much. But if it can hold its ground around the $1.21, $1.22 mark, there is upward trajectory there. Because this is, like I said, the weekly formation. The weekly formation has been more and more, its trajectory is very, very bullish. So the first obstacle is breaking through the previous high of $1.39, then $1.71. So $1.71 matches up with Credible, who highlighted a $1.50 to $1.70 range. So if it breaks through that, we're going to see we could see a fairly dramatic breakout for XRP, and it will be targeting new all-time highs. Previous all-time highs were around $3.80, so that would be the new target point of $3.85 according to FX Street. TA has its value. I like TA to a degree, but fundamentally, I am a fundamental trader. I like looking at the value of a proposition rather than TA. But everything has its value. So this is looking at it from a short-term perspective, with a breakout perceivably in the next month or so, as long as it holds ground and can break through previous levels of resistance. But yeah, so if you're an XRP holder, that's bullish news. So it should be feeling pretty good right now. But yeah, that is the crypto news of the day at the moment. But yeah, I'm not surprised about the stats, and I don't take the Bank of England seriously. They're offering me 0.01% interest on my savings account. I may as well keep my money under a mattress. Screw them. Anyway, if you're new to crypto, check out Copyright Crypto. Or even if you've been in crypto a while, my portfolio has outperformed the market massively. My holdings are primed for gains. I've had a recent coin that I added only a few weeks ago, and it's already 3x. If you want to make the gains, you can check it out. The bull cycle is going to be great for us all. Please bank profits along the way. I really not financial advice, but 1 in a million people get out of the market at the top. It's a gamble. If you're investing, you're not gambling. So bank the profits and sleep well. But the bear cycle is where we see so many people that have made good money leave the market and then come back to it when it's bullish again. But the bear cycle is where the money is made. You'll find coins like VeChain that are 90% undervalued, that have dropped down to 1 cent, 2 cents, and it's an absolute winner. It's going to run another 20x in the next bull cycle at least. And all I do during the bear cycle, is dive into the coins, find the ones undervalued, like Phantom, like I did with Phantom, and I'll share that with everyone on Copyright Crypto. So if you want to be a part of it, because the bear cycle is coming, whether it's 4 months down the line or less, it will come, and there's going to be such opportunities there, and I'll be sharing them. So if you want to be a part of it, you can check it out. Otherwise, have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.